What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Frozen Road Podcast. I'm John Hunter. This is Danny, the Pitchman Hart. What is up?
What's up,
Danny?
brother? You ready for this draft and All-Star game week?
Dude, we have. It's crazy that we're already at the midway point of baseball. Like we're already at the Midsummer Classic. It's crazy how fast this season has gone, and it felt like it took forever for them to figure out baseball last year.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, it's the All-Star break of this year. And it's like we've done the whole full season thing, and it's fucking awesome that we're at this point. And I'm excited because this All-Star game is gonna be a lot of fun. And I think especially with last year not being there, we're getting back to normal again. And this is where it shows. We're gonna get the home run derby in, we're gonna get the All-Star game in. It's awesome. It is. I'm really, really excited for it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like last year's 60 game season, I felt like that took way longer than the 80 plus games we've already played this year. Everything's smooth this year. It's it's back to normal. We got the spider tax stuff and all, but other than that, it's baseball's back, and like you said, the Midsummer Classic's back. Home run derbies, I'm excited for it. We got sluggers in there this year. It should be a show. It's at Coors Field, so the altitude's going to help. You're going to have a couple 500-foot home runs. It's going to be great stuff. I wish they let them use metal bats, but I understand.
That would murder somebody. That would hurt
a couple
somebody.
People in the crowd would probably no longer be with us after the week. But it's exciting.
Absolutely, it is, and it's just we say this a lot about things, but it's good for baseball. It's good for baseball that everything like this is back. You know what I mean? And we have a guy like Shohei Ohtani who has just been fucking great for the game of baseball right now. And it's crazy because we thought that with Mike Trout going down, we talked about this before, that what the fuck's going to happen? He is their best player. He's the best player in Major League Baseball. But it seems like his teammate is becoming more marketable now. He's bringing a new thing to Major League Baseball right now. And it's kind of amazing to see this. I don't think anyone really we always were told about how good Ohtani was. I know there was one. I saw an article the other day, was at Sports Illustrated, posted it was some guy a couple years ago who said that Shohei Ohtani's offense bat wise, he is pretty much like a high school batter is what he compared Ohtani to. And today he's definitely if he's not fired, I don't know who how you keep your job after that.
Yeah, it's an outrageous statement to make. I mean, a couple of years later, and he's on pace to hit 60 home runs in the major leagues. He's
got 32 home runs
he's barely used to being in the USA, and he's just destroyed. It's the best thing to have, hit between him and Tatis and Vladdy Jr. Just the core of players that Soto, Acuna, everybody, Acuna. But the core of young talent, and specifically just the video game shit that Ohtani's doing right now, it's hard not to pay attention. Even if you're not a big baseball fan, he's drawing all kinds of people to the sport. He has to be 100%. It's undeniable what kind of talent that he has, and that we haven't seen anything like this in our lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how he's not making people really, really excited for baseball. What's up, Josh? How are you, buddy?
What's up, Josh?
So he's from The Buzz. Josh does a wrestling show on The Buzz, and it's fucking awesome, dude. He does articles and shit. But yeah, dude, it's fucking nuts, dude. It's just great to see us in this position that we're in, and there's definitely some we're gonna get to it, but there's definitely some things that were kind of shitty in the first half. The spider attack thing we talked about before, and this will be a nice segue into the topic that I really wanted to start off with here. Trevor Bauer,
not good for the sport right now.
It is not good for the sport. It's not good for him. It's not good for anything. It's just, this is just not where he needs to be. He went from being somebody who a lot of people were saying this dude we really could have a good MLB Players Association president,
union leader
once he once Tony he retires, and he could probably take over. But now it looks like they don't even want him around baseball anymore because of And I don't blame them. This is definitely serious, and it seems like it's getting more serious by the day. Like there more shit's coming out, and I mean, people have definitely like I've read a lot about it, and I've seen a lot of like the investigating shit that's been going on with it. And when I saw my first initial thought was, and it sucks that we feel that it's this way, but like the dude just got $40 million a year
all of a sudden.
And and now shit like this comes out, and it sucks, and it does, because that could be a terrible thought process by me, and it probably is. But like that was my first initial thought. But it's just somebody out here trying to get money off of him,
exactly,
trying to slander his name.
Yeah, obviously there's absolute scumbags out there. No one's denying that. There are people that absolutely deserve to be canceled and go to jail and lose every penny they have. But at the same time, you can't say there's not people out there that are trying to take advantage of. Like it's the same thing with someone sees a wet floor in Walmart. Like you go slip on it, you're suing the balls off them. Like it's the same thing. It's right. Like there's people out there that are just obviously going to take advantage of a situation. It sucks.
Opportunity.
But,
the opportunity arose, and
But
like one thing that like we saw the text messages come out where she requested him to do certain things, and it seemed like it was a real S&M type of fucking relationship that the two of them had.
It seemed like they were S&M in high school. Like it was such a like an awkward read. I'm like, what? This is really how these people are talking right now. These grown ass people.
It was confusing, and like then you read it, and then it's like, all right, well, like she's asking him to do this shit, but then when he's like, I'm just gonna do so on and so forth while you're sleeping, that's a whole different fucking ball game, the line. Dude.
Yeah, like you can be in. Yeah, exactly. You could be into whatever you want. Like it's whatever, as long as it's consensual. But once she's unconscious, he should just chalk it up. Wait for her to wake back up. Like if that's what they're into, choking her out until she's unconscious.
Yeah,
don't just start beating the shit out of her because she likes to wake up to pain. Like should probably not do that. Like that's
you probably should pump the brakes.
Yeah, like go sit on the couch. Read go on Twitter for a couple minutes until she wakes back up. Like, don't just beat the shit out of her.
And his content on YouTube was great when he was like going inside. Could have did something like that. Could have just edited some videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But instead like he does, and like that's what I'm saying. Like, what made you think like this is probably a good idea? She won't say anything.
Yeah.
Like that's just so dumb. Of like, it just goes in like, and he seems like a smart guy.
Yeah, you would think
for everything that we've seen over the last couple of years when it comes to like the rotation,
analytical
baseball,
stuff,
exactly. It seemed like he was a smart guy. It now seems like he's probably one of the dumbest human beings in the.
Now it seems like he's a sociopath. Like it just now it's just like, what the hell? Like how is that okay in your mind? Like he released like he's trying to like defend himself by saying, "No, she asked for it." Like no, she did not ask to. You break her orbital bone and give her like bad concussion. Like it's just that I don't know. Like it's such a weird subject. Like you can't like I don't see how you can defend them at all. You could just say like they were both obviously idiots. Like that's just they're both in on it. Really stupid. Like that terrible decisions by both of them. But Bauer definitely crossed the line. So
and Major League Baseball came down and told him that his bereavement was extended for another 7 days. They still want him away from baseball for another 7 days at least. I can see that probably getting extended a couple more times.
Yeah,
I don't know how the week's going to. I don't know how the week's going to shape out as far as what the next move is. As far as it could possibly be suspension. It's going to have to be suspension. I'm assuming would be the next thing. It doesn't seem like he's going to. Like he probably was going to be an all-star this year. There was a few things that were going in his direction this year, and he was pitching really. I mean, he was pitching well, and it just didn't. It sucks that this is how his career is now going to shape out because he decided to do something fucking stupid. Like and like you should never condone this type of bullshit. Like, and to think that that's okay is like, did he think that he was because he was a professional athlete, he was going to get away with it? Like.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Like, who cares if she asked you to do it? You could easily say no. Like, dude, you make $40 million a year. You can't go just find something else that's a little more like normal. Like, you have to Leave that to fucking someone that lives in her neighborhood that is on the same pedestal as her, not someone that's making $40 million. It doesn't matter how this turns out. He's tarnished forever. Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably, I don't see him pitch. To be honest, I don't see him pitching for a while. Like, I don't see him. I don't see how he comes back onto the field. I don't see how the Dodgers allow him to come back on the field now without getting repercussions from, women's rights activists and shit like that. Like, it's not going to be like anytime he plays or anytime if they even thought about bringing him back. I just don't. And now it's even if he gets away with it, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be a positive thing for him moving forward.
No, absolutely not. I don't think he come back from this. Definitely not. It's such a ridiculous thing that I can't. It's like it's almost impossible to comprehend that this just happened to like Trevor Bauer. It's just so weird. Like I don't understand how you let yourself get in that position.
And then I think about other athletes who have done something not S&M wise, but like other shit like this. I mean, you have Ray Rice. Ray Rice never played a down fucking football again. Like that just is what it is. He just never played football again after he did what he did. He was caught on camera. They saw it, and that was a wrap. And I don't see it really being any different for Trevor Bauer at this point. Especially in this day and age too. This day, like we're in a way different time now where
everything is magnified.
This is like he's never going to live this down no matter what.
Yep.
He's going to be looked at as a fucking scumbag weirdo who beats the shit out of girls.
I think that's fair.
And of course it is. But what else would you call him? You know what I mean? Like this goes far past pitching now. This goes far past baseball. This goes way past that. Like this is now you have to set an example at this point to him. Like this is how we handle these situations. You don't hit fucking women. Like you have women owners. You have women GMs now. Like you have women executives in baseball. You have women coaches. Like how are you okay with you pretty much would be slapping them in the face, so to speak.
If you allow that to happen, showing up to work. Hey,
you can't have that happen. And I mean, I feel bad for the woman who it happened to. Like that sucks. It does. It sucks that this is how this happened. And I hope that I hope Trevor never does this type of shit again. And I told you, I mean, I was really into his content this year too. Like I even bought one of his shirts.
Yeah. They were out of shirt.
That'll never fucking be worn again.
Yeah.
Because I can't really support that. I mean, I can't support that at all.
Yeah.
But it's just bullshit. It sucks. It sucks for the game of baseball. It's like because there is things that are great, and then there's things like that have been fucking awful. It's crazy how baseball's been this year, and that's the balance of it. There's been great highs, but then there's been fucking terrible lows.
Yep.
And that's that's the worst of the worst lows.
Yeah. And even like you said, it's bigger than baseball. Obviously, it goes way beyond the sport. But like you're in the best rivalry in baseball right now, like Dodgers, Padres. And like I'm being selfish right now saying I wish it didn't happen for a baseball as a baseball fan. Like it's obviously goes beyond that, but like, come on, man. Like you're in the best rivalry in baseball right now, something so exciting for the fans. Bring like LA, the whole state of California is like involved in it, and it's just like it's such a shame that he did put a black eye on. Otherwise, is a great time for the sport right now. But
I know I'm just he's a fucking weirdo.
Hard to imagine.
And it's just it's awful. It's just awful all around. But you know what? We're gonna get to a more positive light right now. Let's talk about the All-Star game. Let's talk about the Home Run Derby. Let's talk about, everything that's going to go into this next week leading up. We also have we want to do our own mock draft where I'll give a name. I'll give who I think is going to go there. You give who you think is going to go in the next spot. We'll go back and forth like that. I think it's going to be a good show. So All-Star game. We saw a lot of different things going on in the All-Star with the All-Star game, and we saw snubs. We saw
people backed out.
We saw guys back out. That's one that I want to start off with. So we saw two specific guys that backed out, And it's kind of strange that they both backed out within like an hour of each other. Like it wasn't like it was, and it almost seemed like it was like planned. And now
like
we're
they're texting each other, and it's like, well, all right, yeah, we're not going.
So if you guys don't know, we're talking about Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve both backed out of the All-Star game. It makes you think, last year they couldn't be around. There was no All-Star game. There was nothing of the sort. There was no fans. So they didn't really get the repercussions of the cheating scandal that happened in 2017 in front of everybody. So now we're in this season where they both were given a nod to go to the All-Star game, and weirdly, they both backed out.
Yeah, like that. They haven't been injured, really. Like nothing really bothered them. Having good seasons. Like
apparently Correa went on the IL today.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
it's fucking weird, dude.
Carlos
Correa claims that he didn't want to go because he wants to spend time with his pregnant wife. I get it. I understand that. I understand that. Maybe he's just trying to do a balance of, home life and baseball life. It's a long season. You don't get to see your family that much, and I get that. But then when Jose Altuve backed out like an hour later, I started to think, is he using his wife's pregnancy as like I'm just going to throw that out there and I'm going to get away with this because I said that. And then Jose Altuve, once again, they do dumb shit, the Astros players. And then that happens.
I'm not going by myself. Yeah. I don't want to go to All-Star game by myself, dude. Whatever, locker room full of people that hate me.
Yeah, and I think that, and who knows, they could have confronted them. They could have confronted both of them. And that's what needs to happen. You almost need, I almost want them guys to get confronted because we'll see where things go.
Nothing. Yeah.
No, nothing happened, and I almost feel like they and I don't want to spend too much time just on the Astros, but I feel like they felt as if we did what we did, and we got away with it. So now you have to just deal with it.
Yeah, you could tell Correa is so cocky too. So he a great player. JD Martinez 3-run home run, not great. Well, good, nice for you, I guess. But
dude, the over under in that game was 11.
I know. I bet the over. Bought it down to 10.5. Definitely going to have it.
It's at 8 right now in the fucking second inning.
Yeah, not surprised. Garrett Richards been absolutely terrible since his the old spider campaign.
Vince Velasquez blows.
Yeah,
it's crazy. He was on a short little run where he was pitching pretty well,
4 starts in a row,
and then he just went right back to who he was last start. He was just brutal.
Yep,
and he hasn't been the same. Yeah, he's getting shelled again.
And then once he's such it's a snowball effect with him. He has a couple a walk and then he's just done. He doesn't know how to get himself. He kind of handled the first inning well, but after 27 pitches and a run, but I don't know.
He went leadoff home run and then walk right after that. You knew it was going to be a bad day for him right at the jump there.
Yep, and it's not getting any better. But yeah,
absolutely not.
Let's not spend any more time on Vince Velasquez
because we're talking about all-stars, and he's definitely not one.
Yeah.
Unless he's going to be pitching BP for the home run derby.
He should pitch home run derby.
That'd be great.
They should just roll out our bullpen.
Yeah, that'd be fucking incredible.
The Phillies bullpen.
So all-star game. Then we had the Bryce Harper. We heard a little soundbite from him, saying that he wouldn't go anyway because he wanted to rest his shoulder, his wrist, his back.
Yeah,
the dude's it's just crazy how beat up he is, and he's
continues to produce. But
every day,
he got Phillies fans. Yeah, Phillies fans every day calling the radio stations.
Want them traded.
All right,
morons. But then you had him saying that he wouldn't have went whether he was voted in or not. Kind of crazy that he wasn't voted in. I posted a couple I posted numbers on. I posted numbers on Twitter the other day of because I've heard a bunch of people talking about how he's not an all-star. It's crazy that he's not an all-star at this point in his career with the Phillies. And there's really only been 2 all-star games since he's been with the Phillies, so that's one thing.
And he easily deserves it this year.
And he definitely deserved it this year. Right now, Harper's numbers versus all-stars named in 2021. He's a WRC plus higher than Judge, Soto, Betts, Gallo, and Teoscar Hernandez.
Which is ridiculous.
He has a higher on base percentage than Acuna, Judge, Betts, and Teoscar Hernandez. He has a higher slugging percentage than Judge, Gallo, Soto, Betts, and Teoscar Hernandez. He has a higher average than Soto, Acuna, Betts, and Teoscar Hernandez. He has more home runs than Betts, Soto, and Teoscar Hernandez. It's funny because Teoscar Hernandez is a starter for the AL, and Harper is better than him at literally everything.
Yep.
I mean, I get it. It's not the AL. It is what it is. I get that. But, like,
people hate him, so.
And that's what it is. It's a popularity contest. The All-Star game is a popularity contest. When it comes down to it, that's what it is. And that's where we're at. And he's not going to ever get past that. And he's never going to be an All-Star if they just continue to do that.
If the Phillies are not a contender, he will probably not make many All-Star games just because, like, this fan base is not that they're bandwagon, but they obviously support so much more when they're doing well, and I get it. So, like, if you're not getting every Phillies fan vote that you possibly can out of this city, Harper's not getting them anywhere else. Like, JT will get fan votes throughout the country.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of players get fan votes just because they're kind of fair some places and like, oh yeah, he deserves it. No one's going to just vote Harper because he's having a decent season. Like he is the villain of the league for some reason. Still, this many years later, people still hate him. Just like
he's still looked at as that kid who told a reporter that it was a clown question.
Exactly.
But did you ever hear what the question was?
Yeah, it was stupid.
The guy asked him if he what kind of beer he liked, even though he was 19 years old.
Yeah, and he doesn't even drink it anything anyway.
He's 19. He was 19 at the time. It was almost like he was trying to catch him.
Yeah,
he was trying to catch him.
Trying to give a reason for people not to like him. Like, he's a piece of shit. Like,
so if you're going to tell me that that's not a clown question, you're fucking nuts, dude. The kid's he was 19 years old, and he literally told a reporter, "You're a clown for even asking me that. I'm 19, and you're not catching me up. I'm not ruining my career as getting caught for underage drinking." Like, what a moron, dude. Like, who would ask that? But anyway, that's just one of the many fucking things that confuse the shit out of me with some of the All-Star All-Star voting. I mean, but for the most part, I feel like they got things right. It was just I feel like there was definitely some things that we could have adjusted. Yeah, but let's talk about the home run derby. The home run derby is going to be fucking awesome. I don't think I've been this excited for a home run derby since I was probably since '99 when it was like McGuire, Sosa. You know what I mean? Like, big dogs came in.
Literally about the same. Not specifically 1999, but I feel like I'm a little kid again with this home run derby. It's
absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if it's because of how terrible the last year and a half has been throughout the world, and it's just like finally things like my favorite sport, like my whole life, is finally back to normal. Like summer, it's just summer. Like everything's good, and we finally get the home run derby. And not to mention, like a bunch of bombers accepted the invite. So it's not like we have these run-of-the-mill players. Like these are all absolute studs, and there should be a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got guys like
Ohtani. Like, he just helps everything.
Ohtani, he is so involved in this All-Star break that it's crazy how great they're going to be able to market this.
Yep.
And it's for the first time Major League Baseball is kind of getting something handed to them market-wise, and they're actually doing something.
Yeah, they are running with it a little bit, which they have to. Like,
oh, absolutely, you do. If you don't, you're a moron. Like, this is big. This is a huge deal for Major League Baseball. It's you got and then you got Soto. You got young guys in there that we've been really hoping to see for a while now. Like, we've been hoping to see this, and I feel like the more I'm getting more excited now, especially because we've been doing this. I've been so much more into baseball in the last 2 years than I've been probably ever. I mean, when I was younger, I was always into it like this. I would game plan things to do for the All-Star game and the home run derby. As a 30-year-old, I'm just as excited as I was then for the first time in a long time. This is it's almost like I'm again, I'm like a kid again. I'm just so excited to be back, to be doing this again. And I was thinking about today, I would listen to Section 10. I listen to the Starting Nine. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts baseball wise, and I heard Carabas say like, "Oh, this is our last podcast," and then me and Dallas Braden are heading to Colorado for the All-Star game. Like that's the goal here, is to get to that point. Like where we
at least
like
half of that point.
Dude, 2026, the All-Star game is at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, I'm going to be there whether I'm paid to be there or not. So
I'll be there with a 5-year-old. I'll be there with a 5-year-old fucking excited.
I'll be there with what, a 10-year-old.
Yeah. It'd be fucking nuts, dude. Like this, it's back. Like this is like the fun part of baseball is back, and we're definitely enjoying it again. We all are. Like
absolutely.
It's good to see this again. You know, like I've like I said, I've never been more into the game than I am right now. I spend a lot of my time when I'm home, even when I'm home, like me and my wife will, like if we're watching TV, sometimes I'll be flipping through like stats, like looking at different things. Like I've never been like that. Like, but and like when I was little, but like now, like I'm like so into it again, and it's great. It's great for the game of baseball, and it's what we need again. We all need this. We need it normalcy, and we're about to see it in Colorado. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean, you like especially like Joey Gallo, like Matt Olson, Salve Perez, Pete Alonso, like this stacked. You got Mancini, Soto, like you said, and Trevor Story. Like this is a stacked home run derby. It should be like there's no you put the bracket. I don't know if I think the bracket might be out, but I didn't see it.
I did. Give me 1 second. I'm actually looking up right now.
I was gonna say like it should be a great show. I kind of wish Vladdy Jr. was back in it, but.
We all do, but he's, you know, I get what he's doing. He wants to keep his swing the same way that it's been.
Yep.
So and I get that. I can't really fault him for that. You know, it's.
Yeah, and then you got players like Gallo and Matt Olson who just crush. Like that's what their swing is. So it doesn't really affect them at all.
Where is it?
But I did not see the bracket. I know it was released, but I didn't get a chance to see it. But yeah,
then
should be ridiculous.
Because then we'll talk about it. I'll show you the bracket. We'll do the bracket and then we'll break it down. All right. So it goes Shohei Ohtani as the number 1 seed. Joey Gallo is the number 2 seed.
Oh, so it's going by actual home run totals?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
So then 3 is Matt Olson, 4 is Salvador Perez, 5 is Pete Alonso, 6 is Trey Mancini, 7 is Trevor Story, 8 is Juan Soto.
Yeah, then it's by home run totals.
So Shohei Ohtani versus Juan Soto. Who do you got?
I hope Shohei wins just because it's good for baseball, and I would rather see him win than Soto. But I feel like Soto's going to put on a show himself. Like I think he might take that.
I looked at this today. I heard it on the radio, like on the one podcast I was listening to, and they were talking about this. My first initial thought was Soto's going to knock Ohtani out in the first round.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen, but I
don't want it to happen. But it's inevitable that it could happen because it's also timed. So we have to also put that into perspective. It's timed. Ohtani is not we also saw that Ohtani hasn't taken batting practice apparently all year,
which is ridiculous.
Which is wild. It's wild that he hasn't taken batting practice. So he's not used to the slow. I'm not sure if he is. If he isn't, I'm not really sure how it goes with that. But then you also have to put into perspective that he also has a long swing.
He does.
It's not like he's someone who can speed it up. He's not like a Harper who was able to who can speed his swing up and stuff like that. Like it's very long and it's very slow.
And I feel like he has a lot of movement after his swing. Like he has that. Like a lot of Japanese players come over with it, they swing and their whole body moves, and then they go a little bit forward. Like he's probably going to have to regroup a little more than Soto will. And not to mention, like you said, he hasn't taken batting practice, or at least not like a significant batting practice. So there's a good chance he gets winded after 10 swings.
It's also in Colorado. You got to remember that too.
Yeah, the players are not going to be breathing as well as they normally do.
No, so that also comes into effect where it almost makes you think, does Trevor Story actually have the best?
He has an advantage. 100%.
He has such an advantage on that because of his lung capacity, the way that he knows how to deal with it. I know it sounds crazy, but you got to put that into perspective.
It's a real thing. Yeah,
he takes batting
practice there half the season. Like this is then the other players, they're there once a year. Like they're not used to it. And yeah, I think Ohtani, I think Soto can knock him out in the first round. I think he's going to have a problem with swinging 20 plus times in a couple minutes and being okay with it. Like I feel like he's going to get winded, or at least his arms are going to get tired. Like he's going to break down a little bit, I think. So I think Soto takes that, unfortunately, but I do.
Me too. All right, so then it's Salvador Perez versus Pete Alonso.
I would go Alonso, I guess.
I'm going Alonso.
Salvador Perez, like, I feel like he's just more of a line drive type hitter. But if he gets on a roll though, like if he keeps getting line drives rode over the wall, like he could put up a big number. Like Alonso is probably going to hit some moonshots that take a little time. But
so I saw this stat today, and I thought it was kind of crazy. So 61 home runs have been hit at Coors Field this year. Do you want to guess who has the advantage?
As an advantage as well.
Who has more? Who has put more home runs? Like what side of the plate has the advantage here?
I would go left-handed. I would think
left-handed. Yeah, left-handed.
Yeah.
By how many do you think?
Is that crazy?
By how many? Just give a guess.
1.
31 home runs for the lefties, 30 for the righties. It is almost dead fucking even. How many home from both sides? So it's not like there's really an advantage at all.
Yeah,
it's pretty. What's funny is if you really think about it, Bryce Harper is the difference maker because he hit 2 home runs at Wrigley Field this year in one game. So he is the one to put that over to give them the advantage. So the next one is Joey Gallo versus Trevor Story.
Like you said,
Story
does have the advantage. Obviously, the home kid, like he's going to have the whole crowd involved. But Joey Gallo is a freak of nature. So again, but he's one of those too. A lot of his home runs are going to be in the 500-foot range. Like he's going to waste a lot of time with how far he hits the ball. Yeah. So I like Story winning that one.
All right, I could see that. I could see Story. All right, now Matt Olson versus Trey Mancini. Emotionally, I want Trey Mancini to win.
I wish if there's a way that it could be Mancini and Ohtani in the championship, that would be fantastic. Are they on the same side of the bracket?
Who is it? Who?
Ohtani and Mancini.
Ohtani and Mancini are on the opposite sides of the bracket.
That would be beautiful if they meet in the championship.
It's Cinderella stories.
That being said, I think Matt Olson wins. 2 unfortunates. I think Soto and Matt Olson both win. But
so that whole side of the bracket is just unfortunates.
Yeah, there's a bunch of unfortunate events.
Okay.
Series of unfortunate events.
So then we have Gallo versus Matt Olson.
They're similar players, I guess, approach wise. Yeah. Both hit moonshots, both left-handed, big swings. I'm going to go Gallo.
All right, so we go Gallo in the finals. Then we have Pete Alonso. Did you say Juan Soto or Ohtani?
I said Soto.
Okay, so now we have Pete Alonso versus Soto.
As a Phillies fan, I hope they hit the ball at each other a couple times and get a little injury. Not big, but I'm gonna go Alonso.
All right, so we have Alonso versus Gallo.
I think Gallo takes the cake. I think he's trying to get traded.
Okay.
Gallo puts on a big show. I mean, I think he might wind up getting traded anyway. So I think.
So you see Joey Gallo being the home run derby champion this year?
Yes, I do, and has a little bit of a part to do it as he's looking for a new job. He's looking for a new city to live in.
I wonder if I haven't seen the odds. I did see that the Athletic. I think they posted it. They posted some of the the home run derby odds. I was just wondering if it was going to be the field. Here we go. If it was going to be him versus the field. Shohei Ohtani versus the field. So Shohei Ohtani is plus 325 to win the home run derby.
He has the best odds?
Yeah. Joey Gallo is 9-2.
Okay.
Pete Alonso is 5-1. Matt Olson's 13-2. Trevor Story 17-1. Salvador Perez is 8-1. Juan Soto 9-1, and Trey Mancini 11-1. some prop bets. The length of a home run over 503.5 feet. And that's minus 113.
I'm taking the over. Yeah.
Take the over on that?
Okay. Absolutely. I think Gallo is going to hit 5 of them over 500 feet.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked, dude. That
stadium's so big. Like, people don't realize how big of a state. Like, it can land in the crowd and be 500 feet there. Like, that stadium's massive. You have not that it's Coors Field alone, but just how big the outfield is and how far the seats stretch. You got all the potential for absolute ridiculous numbers.
Oh, 100%.
Which is part of the excitement. Like, that's part of the reason we're super excited.
I think that's part of the reason why we all are excited. You know what I mean? So, right before, so I'll pause there. To do my little 1 second. Let me tell you about the fastest growing construction company in the tri-state area. That's Garrett Group Construction. GGC is available to service all of your construction needs. They specialize in gut rehab, basements, bathrooms, and kitchens. Choose Garrett Group Construction, the official sponsor of the Frozen Rope podcast. Call today for a free estimate, 267-262-1660. Once again, that is 267-262-1660. There is no job too big or too small. And while I do that, I will also pause to do the little, for anybody who's watching this on the live feed or on YouTube or on Facebook, whatever you're watching this on, to do a little social media ad for the Buzz live show.
War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them I'm ready, any opponent. The crown heavy and every minute is chosen. A path only fit for kings, and you won't know what this court means. What did you enlist for? If it isn't getting more rings, then you gon' have to switch your team. Trust me, it gets more mean. I'm a nightmare going up against your dreams. First step is explosive like a bomb hit. Bet if I let it fly, I cannot miss. And you ain't got a chance at the top 10 when you getting clamped all night by a locksmith. On the block throwing lobs to my top bigs. I'm a chef, no look, what's the top dish? Tie game, through the pressure as the clock ticks. Crossover, step back, hit a shot, quick.
And that's all that Buzz has. Go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The Buzz, we got what you need. So, the main reason why we did this today, one of the big things we want to do, is because of another thing that's going on this weekend, and that is the MLB Draft. We wanted to talk about who we think is going to go, where they're going to go. The draft has a lot of good talent in it this year. It's one of the deeper draft classes we've seen in the last couple seasons.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there hasn't been really a consensus number one, like that one guy that absolutely needs to be number one. But throughout, like even you can go, I guess, like top 8-ish could all realistically go number one. Like, and then you have, it doesn't fall off too much. It's like the top 20, 25, it's like just good quality. Like it's a great draft for the like mid to later rounds too. I mean, later picks in the first round. Like, it's not like there's not a big drop off. It's very deep, and like I'm excited for the Phillies to be at 13. I'm excited. Like there's a lot of shortstops. It's pretty much shortstops, outfielders, pitchers this year.
Yeah,
it's not really like there's not many first or third basemen, but like some of the shortstops are obviously going to get projected as third baseman in the big leagues. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's deep. I'm excited for it.
So I feel as if the number one pick, like we keep saying different, like we said, there's definitely been like no consensus number one, but I feel like
some other years, but
they keep giving the same number one overall. In most mocks, we keep saying that. I mean, the Pirates, from what I read, have been very hush on a lot of things. They're not really giving away much, but it seems like they're very interested in there's 3 players that it seems like they're the most interested in. I keep saying, obviously, Marcelo Mayer has been, I guess if you're going to consider someone a consensus,
he would be
considered consensus. Shortstop, he's a shortstop of Eastlake, California High School.
Yeah.
Then there's Henry Davis. Henry Davis, it seems like the big reason why he would even be picked at number one is so that they could draft at 37 and give
overpay for somebody.
And overpay for somebody, which happens all the time in the MLB draft. So
that's what Philly's doing,
And that's pretty much what happens a lot of times. You saw the Red Sox did it last year when they drafted Nick York. They did that, and the main thing is they wanted to be able to sign Blaze Jordan in the mid rounds, which I get it. He's somebody who you wanted to try to steal away from college and control him at that point, and that's exactly what they were able to do with Blaze, because Blaze was all but going to Mississippi State. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to be at Mississippi State this year. I'm sure he's pissed off because they just won the College World Series. He would have been a part of that, but whatever. I mean, you got picked, and he got paid. I'm almost positive he got paid more than Nick York did.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. So, and the other one is Jack Leiter. Jack Leiter is another one who I've heard his name float around a lot with the number 1 overall pick, but he's pricing himself away because he wants to drop, and it seems like he wants to drop out of the top 3.
Yep. So your team.
It's from everything I read, the Red Sox are pretty solid, thinking that it's either going to be him
or Davis, right?
Or Davis.
Yeah.
And that's because so that they can, like, exactly the same reason why what they would do with the number 1, exactly what the Pittsburgh Pirates would do if they drafted Davis. So they could go high on another guy. So let's get this started.
Let's get it. That's a lot. That's a thing that a lot of people don't understand about the MLB draft too. There's so much more than just the best player available. Like you got these kids, like once they sign to their school too, they have to wait 2 years before they're eligible again for the draft. It's not like they just get to play a year and come back. Like that's a business decision on their part too. There's a lot that can go on in those 2 years.
I was reading somebody who was that I saw that was it Jordan Lawler? It was Jordan Lawler. I saw that he's a shortstop who's supposed to go in the top 10. He is even considering, if he doesn't go in the top 6, going back to college. He's a commit to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
So he's gonna go to Vanderbilt because he wants to be the number 1 overall pick in his sophomore season. Yeah, and they're pretty much saying that he's going to be if he goes back.
Mm-hmm. But like,
which is so fucking insane as it is.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many other, like, you have to, like, you're betting on yourself, but there's also going to be thousands of other kids who get a chance to just blow up out of nowhere, and then you're in the same position 2 years from now, and you could have got 2 years of MLB organization. But so I guess let's get into it.
I'll get it started. So with the number 1 overall pick, the Pittsburgh Pirates will select Marcelo Bayer, shortstop, East Lake, California High School. He's graded out great. Everyone seems to be he hits the ball pretty solid. I've seen a lot of different things on him. He's a tall kid. He's a presence. He's going to be good. He's a good defensively. He seems like he's got smooth glove. There's a lot. I mean, obviously him being a high school player is definitely something that always is going to be a, you want to, you don't, no one exactly wants to develop. You almost want to hope that you get talent right away.
Yep.
But everything I've seen from him is, I mean, he grades out very good. He grades
he's like 60s across the board almost.
It's almost a foregone conclusion that he is a top 3 pick regardless.
Yeah, 100%.
And it almost seems as if it's a foregone conclusion that he will go number 1.
Yes, I mean, he's 6'3", he's 190. Like his comps, like a lot of things I see is like offensively, he's like Corey Seager, same build, same type of like approach, same everything. Defensively, he reminds us of Brandon Crawford, and it's like, all right, well, if you put those 2 players together,
not bad.
You got a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer on your hands.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, again, like it's the fact that it's like he's consensus now. I would guess give him the consensus number 1. But like the fact that there's been so much talk of other players going 1 just show how talented this group is. Like that.
100%.
Like they're just studs down the board.
We also have to put into consideration that there is the COVID year of last year that also plays a factor into this.
Absolutely.
Teams don't want to spend a big amount of money on their first round draft pick, so they want to be able to group a bunch of them. This isn't like the Bryce Harper years or the Steven Strasburg years, or, you know what I mean, guys like that. Like even Dansby Swanson. It's not even years like that. Like you're talking about high school kids that they're almost trying to manipulate the system to try to be able to, like we said, get those later comps.
Yep.
Would I take Mayer or Davis number 1 overall? Probably not. I probably would go with Jack Leiter. He's the guy who's going to get, but it's the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. Yeah, and
exactly.
He'll most likely he'll most likely be in Double A by next season.
Yep,
which is huge because that means it's quicker to the major leagues. Within the next 3 seasons, we'll be up there. Mayer probably will take a couple more years than that. I mean, depending on how he shapes out, but this could be a developmental thing for him.
Yeah, exactly, and it's perfect for the Pirates. They're not winning.
Yeah, they're not going
in the next couple of years. So like that pick makes perfect sense. And you are, like we already talked about him, Jordan Lawler. I think he's going to go number 2. Like a lot of players can go here, obviously, but I feel like the Rangers are kind of in the same boat. Like Jordan Lawler's pretty much it's very similar player to like they both grade out great across the board. Like what's his grades? Lawler. He's just right there with or a little above. Like he's good across the board. He's big. He's 18 years old, 6'2", 190. Like you said, he could go to Vanderbilt. I think if the Rangers really like him, they're gonna jump all over him. Like it's not gonna be that much money, I don't think, and it's just there's a ton of good shortstops, and I think he's a safe bet for the top 3 pick.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't imagine him not going here now. Like him not going probably 2. I'm a big fan of Jordan Lawler. I really enjoy. I from everything I've seen, I really really like. So him going 2 makes a lot of sense, and exactly for what we're talking about right now. He's a high school player. They're probably going to, so they can probably get something later on in the later rounds. I mean, in the second round, so you can overpay and be able to get something big like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to look at like Leiter. Like I would assume he would go here, but like you said, he's talking his way out of it. He's going to ask for too much money, and I just don't see them picking Leiter with that. They're not going to come to agreement with a price. So I think Jordan Lawler's locked up for number 2.
Okay. So number 3. To the Detroit Tigers, I have Brady House.
Okay,
shortstop,
big shortstop.
another high school player. A lot of people had him going 7 to the Royals. It seemed like the Royals are a big fan of his, but I mean, I know that a big thing with the Tigers right now is, to be honest, I kind of said no to Jack Leiter. I almost picked him there because I feel as if the Tigers are probably closer in the next couple of years to, like, I feel like their minor league system, they're ready to make that jump with they have Torkelson. They have a couple guys ready in the next couple of seasons to where I think Jack Leiter realistically would fit in really well there. But I don't know if Jack Leiter necessarily wants to go to Detroit.
No, I don't think so.
So that's kind of why I backed off on Jack Leiter and went Brady House. And I think that it would be and that's just another. And Brady House is, like I said, he's a big player. He's a lot of teams have him going in the top 10. A lot of players have a lot of mocks have him going in the top 10 anyway. So him going 3 right there is probably a good bet.
Yeah, and he might wind up like with Torkelson. Torkelson going to play 3rd, or is he going to play 1st?
He'll play 1st eventually. They might start him as the 3rd baseman, but if I had to guess, he's probably going to play more first base.
Especially like if they do go Brady House, like he's so big, like he's 6'4", 220 now. Like I think he's going to, and he's 18 years old. He's going to be 6'4", 240.
Yeah, he's a big fucking kid, dude.
He's going to be a 3rd baseman. Like Torkelson's going to be 1st, and Brady House going to be at 3rd, and his grades are across the board are 50, 55, and then his power, his arm, like he has a great. They're 60 plus. So
yeah. And Brady House apparently had a ridiculous workout for them.
Yeah, what was a freak?
Which I don't think he would have a hard time having a good workout for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big fucking dude, like we said. So working out seems to be his thing.
Yeah.
But I could see that. I could see definitely him moving to 3rd base.
Yeah, I think so. And then 4th, I mean, I think we're on the same page here. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion, unless you're going to have the Rangers, someone that's going to say, fuck it, we'll overpay for Leiter. But I don't see that happening. I think it's just a match made in heaven, and I'm sure you're fired up for it, being a Red Sox fan.
Absolutely.
Jack, I think I can't see it going any other way than Jack Leiter going 4th. He's not making it past 4th. I don't think so.
No.
If
you don't make it.
If he makes it through the first 3 picks because of the money problem, I can't see the Red Sox are going to jump all over him. It's pretty obvious, I think. So Jack Leiter 4. I mean, obviously a stud. Everyone just him and Rocker are pretty much the 2 most known players in this draft anyway.
Yeah.
And I think just being an MLB organization, like he's obviously been around baseball his whole life, and he's just gonna. I think it's such an easy transition for him just to be in the clubhouse, and like he'll probably be up by maybe even the middle of next year. Like it could be a September call up next year. Boston, they're ready to win. Obviously now they're the best team in baseball, and like he could be a part of it next year. But that'll be a little fast, but. Definitely 2 years. I think he's got this in the rotation. Absolutely,
he's got the stuff for the next with where he can be up there. He could be pitching at Fenway in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So number 5, I'm gonna go to the Baltimore Orioles. I'm gonna go Kumar Rocker.
Okay.
And I think not only does it make sense for him to just go in the top 5, I think, and also Baltimore. I don't think they would really hate getting pitching in that building. Yeah. It's definitely something that is needed for them. But Kumar Rocker is a very good pitcher. He definitely struggles in certain things. One of the things that he definitely struggles with is adversity. When things start to go rough for him, they go really bad for him.
Yeah, he's like too emotional sometimes.
Yes. I mean, and I read a couple mocks, and probably my favorite one I've read so far was Keith Law did one for The Athletic. And he said he compared Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole in their drafts. They were talked about heavily about their lack of command. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You got 2 World Series winners. You got fucking a Cy Young Award winner. Like they're 2 good players. So if you're able to put him. And that's one of your biggest problems is you think his command is a struggle, which it is. He walks a lot. He does walk people, but Kumar Rocker also has a presence too.
Yeah, he was never a monster.
At no point was he really ever considered a number 1 overall pick. I feel like there was, it's kind of like how we were just talking about. Anyone in the top 10 right now could probably win number 1.
Yeah,
but he was never. Exactly. But again, he never was like a slam dunk. You're going number 1 overall.
Yeah, I think his 19 strikeout no hitter kind of hurt him because he was, oh my God, he's going to be number 1 pick as soon as he's eligible, and it's just like he hasn't. Obviously, who the hell is going to keep? You can't keep performing like that. Yeah, you can't. That's not a possibility to be consistently like that. So I think people are disappointed per se on what has he like done lately, I guess, but you can't argue his stuff. His velo dipped a little bit, but I'm sure. I mean, that might be just it could be anything. And like you said, command issues. Like these dudes are going to the best organizations in the world. They're going to be able to fine tune things, and if they get you can't argue his stuff. Like his slider's disgusting, and it's just like I feel like that's a completely fair pick for Rocker going 5th.
And I think how great would it be, in maybe 2023 when Baltimore starts to really get things going. Bringing guys up, and we see an late September Rocker versus Leiter for the AL East. You know what I mean? Like that's just stuff that I really enjoy, and I think that everyone would enjoy that. College teammates going at it, trying to win a division in a winner take all game to go to October.
That would be beautiful.
Who won? Yeah,
like even if it's the wild card game, like the play-in game to get into the postseason, like this them 2 against each other, that'd be fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
like, that would be such a cool
it'd be
thing.
Great. Absolutely.
All right, so where are we at? Number 6,
Arizona Diamondbacks.
I think if Leiter does fall to 4 and Boston doesn't have a chance to take Henry Davis, I think the Diamondbacks very likely will take Henry Davis. Dude's I mean, he's going to hit for power. He has a great approach. He has a fucking rifle behind the plate. Like he has the opportunity to move to 3rd if they need him to, but like I don't see why you would. Unless he's an absolute stud offensively and they want to try to preserve him a little bit and move him to 3rd, I could say it. But I feel like he's a really good backstop, and he has the arm. He has one of the best, probably the best arm in the country as a catcher. And I think I don't really think you can go wrong with him.
No,
number 6.
I agree.
So
I definitely agree with that. So, yeah, I mean, I and the Diamondbacks need as much help as they possibly can get in the next couple of seasons. They definitely are looking for, to take that leap. They're having a really, really bad year this year. I mean, they went 22. They lost 22 straight games at one point. Like it was, something like that. Yeah,
million in a row on a road. Like,
yeah, and it
was 30 plus on the road. Like that's
it was
crazy.
it was brutal.
Yeah,
and I couldn't agree more. I think that would be a good pick for them, and again, it would keep it would help them. It definitely anything's a help at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I could, like you already took Rocker off the board. I could see him going to number 6. Like you said, they could use anything. Like they're going to.
You could interchange this top 10 so many times.
You can. That's why, it's like we're trying to go here on the fly. Like we haven't talked about our list at all. We have no idea who we have where. So I'd see Henry Davis going 6 if Rocker off the board. If Leiter's still on the board for the Red Sox, then if not, they're going to take Henry Davis. Obviously, it seems that way. So, all right. So number 7.
Number 7, Kansas City Royals. I have them selecting Khalil Watson, shortstop from Wake Forest High School.
Yeah,
he's short. He's a 5'9". I mean, he's not. He's a short player. He's
normal.
5'9".
Person. Yeah.
He's a normal person in this world. He's 18 years old. He committed to North Carolina State already, but his grades not bad. 55 hitter, 65 run, 55 field, 55 power, 55 arm, and a 60 overall. He definitely gives him. He definitely is going to be one of the best young prep starters in this. He's definitely one of the best young prep players in this draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, there's a lot. He improved a lot in this from his junior to senior year. He really didn't have much of a junior year, so really sophomore to senior year.
Yeah, he opened up a lot of eyes. He might slide over to second base. He probably could play short in the majors, but he has versatility, and like you said, he's small for a baseball player, but everything you read, like what you see, he plays bigger than he is. Like he's not lacking pop. Like he has the raw pop. He's a good hitter all around. Like I'm sure they would be fired up if he's there at 7 because he could go top 5. Like if it wasn't for Lawler and Meyer, he might be a top 3 pick. Like it's just the fact that there happens to be 5 stud prep shortstops this year.
There was also another guy that I almost slid in there, and I thought about it, was Jackson Jobe.
He's my favorite player in this draft.
Is he really?
Yeah, I'm a big Jackson Jobe fan.
He's going to be something special, dude. And I wouldn't have minded seeing him go to Kansas City. He was somebody who I definitely thought about, but I see a lot of I saw a lot of mocks that had Kansas City going Brady House. So I just moved the shortstop there. Is pretty much what I did. I moved another prep shortstop there just to because I felt as if that's what they're looking at, if that's what they're heavy on, is a prep shortstop, I might as well just throw another prep shortstop there.
Yeah, why not? And they have like a chance, like Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. is with the Royals. Like they're going to have a nice young middle infield, whichever 100%. Way they decide to go. Like that would be a cool 1-2 punch for them. Yeah. And this is what number 8 to the Rockies. This is my favorite player in the draft. So I'm not putting him on the Rockies. Like I would rather the Royals. I think if Jobe can go to the Royals, that would be great for him. Yeah. Like, I guess if like the Orioles love him, like I don't want him going to Colorado. That's for damn sure. So I'm not putting them.
You're not going to put Jackson Jobe there.
I'm not putting Jackson Jobe 8th. No. So I will. I think I don't know. I feel like they're going to go pitching. Like they never have it. So
okay.
I feel like they're still going to go with a pitcher. I seen him fall a little bit, but he's just a pretty polished pitcher at this point. I think he's a safe pick. I think they could go Ty Madden at number 8.
Okay.
Just specifically so Jackson Jobe doesn't go number 8. But yeah, I could see them going with Ty Madden, Texas. So
this whole thing is just so they don't draft Jackson Jobe. Okay. I like it.
Yeah, I think Jobe just has such a his ceiling is ridiculous. Like I feel like he already for an 18-year-old pitcher too, like saying his slider is rivals Rockers as the best pitch in the draft is ridiculous as an 18-year-old player. And not to mention they said his changeup has developed almost to the point where it's on par with his slider. So he might have 2+ pitches after his fastball, and it's not like his fastball is bad. Like he
Yeah.
throws gas. So yeah.
So number 9 to the Los Angeles Angels, I have Jackson Jobe.
There you go. Would much rather him go to the Angels.
And you know what? And if you think about it, it works out. They need pitching.
Yep.
He's a good young pitcher. He's 18. He's young. Like we just mentioned, he's a young player who's already got a lot of plus to his pitches.
I think
so. I can't really see this being a bad spot for Jackson Jobe. I think actually it's a perfect spot for Jackson Jobe.
100%. They need pitching, like you said. I mean, Trout and Ohtani, you got to win now. So, like, I feel like even though he's so young, he's already so polished that he may be up by the time he's 20. Like, it's definitely not impossible. Yeah. Like 2 years from now, he's in the rotation. And I think that would be a great fit. That would be real cool.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So where are we at? Mets.
We are at the Mets at 10.
Okay, number 10. Let's see a couple players off the board here. Mets, I will take. I want the Phillies. I hope he drops to 13 for the Phillies, but
Benny Montgomery.
No, not well. Yeah, him too. But I think Colton Cowser is like he's just a really he's up so polished. He's a great hitter. Like I feel like he is kind of Michael Conforto-ish, and I feel like the Mets could take him at 10.
Okay, I'm cool with that. 11. I have. You kind of fucked me on the Cowser. Because I kind of was gonna put him there. I might go Bubba Chandler.
Okay.
I know he.
You don't want him quarterbacking for Clemson?
No, I don't. And I know I'm putting him pretty high because it seems like a lot of mock drafts have him going anywhere from 16 to probably like 22, 23ish, which I get. He's definitely not he's not a slam dunk to stay. But I think if you put him in at number 11, you could probably convince him pay-wise to stay and go with you. He's also a
two-way player.
He's a two-way player. He's a shortstop and he's a right-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
We did mention
two-way player too.
Yeah, he is committed already to play at Clemson, but it seems like a lot of people are interested in him as a pitcher more than he is a position player. But few have him as a position player, but it seems like more are more interested in him as a starting pitcher, which I get. He's a quarterback, so clearly he's got a good
make
arm.
Sense. Yeah,
it just makes sense for him to go there. I know the Marlins have showed more interest than any team really in him, but I mean, if you're able to get him at 11, like I said, I think that pretty much cements him definitely going to baseball over Clemson.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right, so okay. Number 12 to the Mariners. I will take. I don't know if he would fit on their team, so let's go with UCLA shortstop Matt McLean.
Okay.
I feel like I liked another player there, but I feel like they have a ton of outfield prospects already that are pretty much the future of their team. So I'll leave it. I won't throw an outfielder in there. But yeah,
Will Taylor.
Well, no, I was going to say Frelick, same Frelick. But
okay,
I like him a lot too. I mean, he's obviously not going to hit 30 home runs, but does everything else well. He's fast as hell. He's going to hold down center field if a team decides to keep him there. But he could play second base or something as well. So, yeah. I'll give him a shortstop. He's a good player. He's close to MLB ready. I guess like he's already 20. Played for UCLA. He's been good. Like I like him. So
all right, we'll go ahead.
Grades well across the board. He's a 60 hit and 60 run with a 60 arm. Like seems like he's going to stay at shortstop. So
all right. So the Phillies are the next pick for number 13. I have the Philadelphia Phillies selecting Benny Montgomery.
There you go.
I mean, it just seems like it just fits. It was him. There was a few guys that I saw there. I mean, Ty Madden was one of them that I think could, if he was available. I don't like having them draft a high school player. I don't think the Phillies developmental. I mean, I not that I don't think. I know that the Phillies developmental stinks.
It's absolute trash, yeah.
Especially with a high school player, you're going to have to really build him up. Yeah. I think your best bet is a college player, but I mean, I could have went Sal Frelick there. I could have. I definitely could have just as a college player who's going to be more polished and ready. But Benny Montgomery's a local kid. He's a good player. It seems like he grades out really well. I mean,
yeah, he's a freak.
Hitting wise, he's middle of the row. About a 45 is what he's grading out hitting wise. His run though,
his power and his speed, yeah.
His speed, he's a 70. His arm is a 60. His power is a 55. His fielding is 60 as well. It seems like they could be getting a gift who's local in their backyard. With that, another guy that I like there was Salametto.
Another local kid,
another local kid, a
left-handed pitcher, which they could definitely use.
But I have him going. I actually have Salametto going elsewhere. Another guy who I liked was Jordan Wicks. He was another guy that I liked going there as well.
I like Cal. I hope like if Calzer falls to 13, I feel like the Phillies would kind of be dumb not to take him. Like he's as close to an MLB ready outfielder as you can get in this draft, and like obviously he's going to play center field, and they obviously need that. And with McCutchen going too, like Calzer would be a great pick for them, especially 100%. With how terrible they are developmentally.
Definitely.
All right, so the Giants. Okay, 14 to the Giants. All right, I will. This is a tough pick. Because of this is going to be a weird pick here. Not weird that he's not a good prospect, but Sam Bachman from Miami, Ohio, who I think has a chance to be in the Giants bullpen at the end of the season if they're still in contention.
Kind of like a Crochet situation.
Yep. And that's why like the fact that like I feel like they could use a different position here, but
I mean
they're going to be in contention, and you get a power arm that no one really like players haven't got a chance to bat against, obviously. Like he could be a weapon in the bullpen. He doesn't have a lot of pressure on him. Like, this is us. Like, it doesn't matter how you pitch. Like, we're putting you in this position. Go show us what you can do. Pressure's obviously pressure's going to be on, but like the fact that you could just unload this weapon, he's going to be a starter hopefully because he has nasty stuff. Like, but for the time being, if they're in contention at the end of the season still and have a chance to make the playoffs, like I think there's a good chance if they take him that he's going to be talked about to be in a bullpen. That would be cool.
I could see that. So 15, I have the Milwaukee Brewers selecting Harry Ford, catcher at a North Cobb, Georgia high school.
Okay.
They've scouted him a lot. I've seen his name come up a lot with Milwaukee. I've read a lot of different, again, like I read a lot of these fucking mock drafts, and he's been somebody who I've definitely seen his name from time to time, but like with the Brewers especially. They're not really sure where they're not guaranteeing that he's going to actually be a catcher long term.
Which is interesting for him. Yeah,
which is definitely interesting. But he grades out middle of the row for everything. He's a 50 hit, 60 run, 55 field, 50 power, 55 arm, and 55 overall. He's pretty much just the middle of the row, but he's a very good player as well. And it seems like a lot of they've had a lot. He's just a very, very good ball player, and I think he's being compared to Joey Bart. And it's mainly because of the fact that they're both Georgia baseball players.
Yep.
So,
yeah, and the fact that like a lot of things say he could move to center field, which is like the versatility in that alone as a catcher or a center fielder is like you're obviously getting a player that it's exactly. I've seen second base too as well. Like it's just like that. There's so much you could do with him that he's very valuable for a team and.
Yeah,
it would be. Yeah, I don't see him dropping past like top 20. So the 15 is a great spot for him. All right, so the Marlins at number 16.
Yeah,
I will give them. Let's see, we got Marlins at 16. Let's go with. I'll give them Will Taylor at 16. I like Will Taylor. He's a big fan of him.
He's another classic commit.
I know. He's going to be Bubba Chandler's slot receiver. It's crazy. There are 2 first-round picks in baseball that are a quarterback and a slot receiver for the same football team, potentially. It's
powerful. Like it's not like
perennial contender for the championship.
It's crazy. 17. Cincinnati Reds, Joe Mack, catcher, Williamsville East, New York High School. I think he did a lot in the last in spring. Mm-hmm. He really showed how good of a player he really could be. I mean, everything I've read, it seems like the Reds are definitely a team that have been looking at him. They could also. This is also another probably slip. But one of those slot players that, like, if they pick him here, they have enough room for money towards the end of the draft, towards the end of the round. Because they have the 30 and 37th pick as well. So
they're definitely. I feel like they're definitely
spread money out for them.
100%. And you're not going to have to fucking overpay for a high school catcher out of New York. So that would be a very efficient pick for them money wise.
Yeah.
So that makes a ton of sense.
Yep.
So that was the Reds, right? You said, yeah.
That was the Reds. So you got 18 right now.
So 18.
Cardinals.
Okay. 18. I'll give them Jordan Wicks.
Okay. I like that.
Like they're really good at developing pitchers, and he's a really solid pitcher. He's close to being MLB ready, I guess, closer than a lot of pitchers in this draft. So I could definitely see them picking him, developing him well, like they usually do, and he could be in the major leagues shortly.
All right, I like that. Number 19, I have the Toronto Blue Jays selecting Anthony Salametto.
Okay.
I think that makes the most sense. It seems like overall it's made the most sense. It seems like there's interest on both sides in that when it comes to that. I know there is also interest with the Yankees when it comes to Salametto, but I don't think he makes it to the Yankees. I think he goes at 19. He's a 6'5" left-hander who's already committed to North Carolina. He is a local kid. He's from Jersey. He went to Bishop Eustis High School. He's a ZBA product. We know Zoom really well. We both do. We both played under Big Zoom. We both played with Young Zoom.
Yep. And
we know with the kind of talent that they are both able to produce, and they're both able to, come along. And clearly this is going to be a huge deal for them. It's a player in this draft class that is one of theirs.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's a huge thing for them. I mean, he grades out well pretty much everywhere. I mean, his fastball is 55, changeup 50, overall 50, sliders a 55, and control is 55. He's definitely a work in progress, but I definitely think that you're going to definitely see they're going to get a lot out of him. I mean, he's being compared to, it's mainly because of his delivery, Madison Bumgarner.
A funky delivery, like a three-fourths arm slot.
He goes all the way back. It almost kind of looks like it's weird. It's like Madison Bumgarner meets Tim Lincecum.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Have you seen him? You've seen his delivery, right? Yeah. It's funky.
He loads up, has a big leg kick, and then just has that three-quarter arm slot. So he's going to be deceptive as hell too. Like it's going to be tough seeing the ball out of his hand. So
he's a big kid, 6'5", 218.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's 18 years old. Like, yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah. So that's my number 19 is Anthony Salametto to the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay, Yankees at number 20. Let's go with. I'm going to give them. I'll give them Will Bednar from Mississippi State, who's going to cash in on how great of a fucking college playoffs he had. He was a stud throughout. Like he was going toe to toe with everybody and pitching great, like pitching very well. Obviously helped him win a championship. He was just he was fun to watch. So I think he's going to go higher than he would have obviously 2 months ago. I think he would have been maybe a second rounder, late first rounder, and now I think he's going to be close to top 20, sitting right at 20 for the Yankees.
All right. So Who do I want to put?
Yeah, you can go anywhere with the Cubs. Just considering
With the Cubs,
they're probably trading their whole team right now too.
So for a developmental area, I'm going to give them Andrew Painter, right-handed pitcher, Calvary Christian, Florida. He's been. I mean, I've seen him go anywhere from
he's all over
10 to 28. I've seen him go. So, but he's a good player. He's a 6'7" right-hander. He's committed to Florida, University of Florida. He's 6'7", 215. That's a fucking big kid, dude.
Everything says like his delivery is like very maintainable. Like he doesn't overthrow or anything. Everything's smooth. It says like for being that tall, you would expect like a long, stupid delivery. But everything says he's a really good athlete, and he can.
That's absurd, dude.
Yeah, he's a freak.
He throws at 90. He throws and his fastball touches 96, but he's got a 12 to 6 curveball that goes to the upper 70s.
Yes, that's tough to deal with.
That deception right there.
I was gonna say, not to mention 12-6 curveball coming from a 6'7" right-handed like arm. It's just like, where's that ball gonna start? 7 feet in the air. It's gonna hit you on the knees. It's gonna be a crazy curveball.
That's absurd.
And he's only he's throwing 96 now. He's probably gonna come to the show pitching 98, 99, sitting up there. Like I'm excited to see what he could do. Hopefully he pans out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, what you got? 22 White Sox. I feel like they have a ton of offensive players, so I'm going to give them a pitcher.
Okay.
I will give them, coming off an injury, I will give them Gunnar Hoglund.
Okay.
From Mississippi, who, I mean, if he didn't get hurt, he would probably be close to top 10. Definitely in consideration for top 10. So, I mean, a little bit of work in progress, obviously, but it's not like he's a high school kid. Like, he should be back in relatively fast track to get a chance at the major leagues. So, I think they're built to win within the next couple of years if they do. So, I don't think they would go with a high school pitcher. But I do think they need pitching, so I will go with him. Hopefully, it's quick comeback from Tommy John, and White Sox 22. Gunnar Hoglund, not Connor.
All right, so 23. I have the Cleveland baseball team, whatever you want to call them. I have them drafting right-handed pitcher out of Mainland, New Jersey, Chase Petty.
Yeah, Chase Petty. Polarizing pitcher.
It kind of fits what the Cleveland Indians usually do. They're big on drafting high upside pitching.
Yeah. And they usually work out. Yeah, they're very good at developing them too. So
yeah, they're good with and they do a lot of good stuff with high school pitchers. So I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Chase Petty's been highly documented. He's a 6'2" right-hander out of like I said, Mainland, New Jersey. He's 190 pounds. He's committed to Florida already. His fastball grinds out at 70. Change up at 50. Slider at 55. Control at 50. Overall 50. So I think he's a high school pitcher, so he's a work in progress, but he's definitely a talented, very, very talented right-handed pitcher in this draft. He throws in the high 90s. We've seen him, I believe I saw he touched 100 at one point this year.
Yeah, he has.
Which is unreal. So, I mean, imagine with what a team like the the Cleveland baseball team could do with him later, like when it comes to developing him. Yeah. And I think that's a perfect fit for them.
I think that's an absolute perfect fit for him as well as a player. Yeah. It's a great spot for him to land if he happens to. So the Braves, number 24. I will give them. I guess we'll stay on the same path as the Petty pick. I will go with Gavin Williams from East Carolina, who also throws triple digits and had a 130 to 21 strikeout to walk ratio in his final year. So I mean, that's pretty damn good.
Absolutely.
So, and again, with the Braves, like I feel like they always have top prospect pitching. I feel like a lot of them haven't panned out as good as they thought they would, whether it's like Kyle Wright and stuff like that. They haven't been great, but I feel like they're another team that's just so loaded all over the place with young players already that a pitcher makes sense for them. And I could see a college pitcher too. Like it's not really developmental. So I could definitely see them going Gavin Williams from Carolina or East Carolina.
All right. Sounds good. I have the Oakland Athletics at 25 drafting Tyler Black, infielder, Wright State. Really, I mean, I really have them drafting him mainly because he's a good infielder. He's a good player. He's a good infielder. They really don't have they don't have like a real like prototypical type of player that they really draft every year. Like I feel like the identity of the Oakland A's really doesn't specify on just one type of thing. He's an infielder, so he does play multiple positions. So that's mainly the real reason I had him there, and this is pretty much where I've seen him land a lot. I've seen a lot of teams take him here. So I mean, I really don't have much on that, but that's really why I'm landing on him there. I mean, I think he grades out. I think he grades. He's more of a second baseman than he is anything. But and his dad is a Canadian broadcaster. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not know that.
His name's Rod Black. So, but yeah, there's a lot of I do. He grades out pretty well. He's a hits 60, 50 run, 45 power, 40. He's got a 50 arm. Overall, he's about a 50 player. He's a 50 fielder. He just fits. I think he just fits in where Oakland is a type of team that they'll take those low players who they can make much better players. Yep. And I think that's where he's 6'2", 190. He throws right, bats left. I mean, it sounds like a fucking classic
A's pick,
A's player.
Yep, just a good player that they'll figure out where to play him. Not really worried about anything else.
Yep.
So number 26 to the Twins, I will give them Colson Montgomery out of Southridge High School.
Okay.
I like him. It's fucking. I mean, there's a lot to like about him. The Twins are a weird team. Like they've been good the last few years, trying to contend, and now all of a sudden, like Barrios is probably getting traded. Nelson Cruz is probably getting traded. Like you got these players that are going to be gone. And it's just like, where do they stand? So I could definitely see them taking a high school third baseman and just not really worried about like fast tracking them to the majors.
Yeah.
And I think, if he could go, he might go top 20, but if he falls a little bit, I could definitely see him going to the Twins.
His MLB.com says that his frame resembles Corey Seager's.
Yeah, you
can't go wrong with that, especially as a third. He's a young third baseman. He's 6'4", 190. He's committed to Indiana. That's a good pick. I could definitely see him going there. So 27. Where do I got? I'll go. Did you say Tyler Whitaker yet?
No.
I'll go Tyler Whitaker to San Diego.
Okay.
He grades out pretty well across the board. Let me see real quick. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Where the fuck is it? Dude, I just had him up. I don't know why I fucking went back.
6'4", 190, 18 years old from Bishop Gorman.
Yeah, he has the size. He definitely is like he's got a lot of power. He's an outfielder. He fits a lot of things, and apparently put on a good show for San Diego last week when he did his workout. So, and it seems like he's definitely a plus player and definitely something that they could build upon. It seems like they're doing really well with their prospects as it is. I can't imagine they would fuck up with Tyler Whitaker at 27.
Okay, so 28 to the Rays. I It's another team with just a ton of young talent that, like, they got players coming up all over the infield. So not necessarily, I don't think the infield would be a need for them. They do love themselves some pitchers, so I will give them Michael McGreevy.
Okay.
Out of Santa Barbara.
Okay.
He grades pretty well throughout, like pretty much everything above average, 50s, 55s, and 60. So, like, I think he's a safe pick, and I feel like the Rays just always pump out good pitching, regardless of where they get it from. So I feel like that's a good fit for him personally. So I very well could see them taking him there.
Okay. I like that. 29.
The last pick of the first round.
I have probably the most obvious pick here. I have 29. I have the Los Angeles Dodgers, World Series champions, selecting Max Muncy.
No relation.
No relation. Weirdly enough, have the same birthday as well.
That's the weirdest thing of all time. If we're not living it, if you don't think we're living in a simulation,
yeah,
there's two Max Muncies potentially playing for the Dodgers, not related with the same birthday. All right,
that's baseball.
What the fuck's a Muncy? I never heard that last name in my life.
And apparently, there's two of the same Max Muncy. He Thousand Oaks, California. He's a 6'1" shortstop, 180 pounds. He grades out middle of the row, 50 power, 50 hit, 50 run, 50 arm, 50 field. He is a 50 overall. I have him going to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Definitely makes sense.
Yeah, and then the Cincinnati Reds are the 30th pick.
Okay, let's go. Give the Reds. Who did I give the Reds earlier, or who did you give the Reds? Did you give them Harry Ford?
Who do we have? I gave them Joe Mack, I believe.
Okay, Mack.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it was a catcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they probably underpaid him. Not that I'm really thinking too much of that, but I will give the Reds Joshua Baez.
Okay.
Dexter Southfield High School. He's a 6'4", 220 as an 18-year-old. Just turned 18 as well, which is ridiculous.
Vanderbilt commit.
Yep, with a ridiculous arm. He's probably going to be a right fielder. Ridiculous arm, ridiculous power. Like, he obviously he's raw, but if they could fine tune his game, and they said he does overswing, but he doesn't get fooled that much. He doesn't look that bad. He just swings too hard and misses. So if they could just fine tune that a little bit and let if he starts to trust his body, that fact that he's 6'4", 220 at just turning 18, he's going to hit home runs regardless. He doesn't have to overswing. And once he gets that mindset, especially if you put him in Cincinnati, he has a chance to have a hell of a career.
100-mile-per-hour exit velo at 18.
Yeah, and I think he throws close to 100 miles an hour as a pitcher too.
That's absurd, dude. Hey, dude, did you ever see so MLB.com has like the little pictures of the player. So it's him I believe it's him in a perfect game uniform. He almost looks like Yoenis Cespedes in the picture. Like the way that his like
his bat's like wrapped around. Yeah, same one I'm looking at. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Like, he looks like he'll just fucking destroy baseball.
And he just turned 18 fucking 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so he was 17 or younger in that picture. Like, that's ridiculous.
That's a big kid, dude.
Yeah, so if they could just figure, like,
he looks like he's built like Manny Machado.
He is. Yeah, if they could, I mean, they might underpay for him too. Like you said, he's a high school kid. Like, but yeah, if he could drop 30 and have a chance to play in Cincinnati for his whole career, with his build and the advancement he already has, like he could wind up being like a pick 10 years from now. Like, how the hell did he go fucking 30? How did he make it to the complimentary picks?
I don't know.
But yeah, I'll give him. I'll give him a 30.
All right,
to the Reds.
And that is our mock MLB draft. I mean, I'm really not going to go much further than that. There's really no reason to, because then it just gets crazy after that.
There's 7 million people you could pick from too. We just
it's crazy
doing us on the fly. It's like we didn't talk about who we were picking at all.
We just kind of went with it.
Yeah, it's like it's not that easy to just be like, all right, well, now he's going like, all right, this person makes sense.
It's mainly because it's not like how an NFL draft or an NBA draft is, where
so much going into it,
where you just see fits. Like you can literally, realistically, every player is a fit in baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to drafting, like best player available is always a fit.
Especially with how long it takes a lot of these players to make it to the league. Like,
it
might not be a fit right now. 4 years from now, like your team's gonna be completely different. It's so much easier to draft NBA. Like NBA is just like best player available. It doesn't really matter.
NFL they need a point guard, and they
exactly
go out and a point guard, quarterback.
NFL is the same way. Like we need a corner. Yeah, we need a tackle. Like it's so easy in other sports to pick because you get immediate results. Yeah, MLB is just all over the place. You have players that are like Bubba Chandler has a good chance to play two ways. Like you had no idea. Like the MLB draft is so much going into it, even with the slot money and everything that like you have to consider. Just like it's definitely complex for sure.
100%, and I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to baseball. And you also can draft out of high school, you can draft out of college. Like there's then when it comes to college, you get like there's guys that we didn't even mention.
There's a ton of guys.
This thing. I mean, you have Cops who wasn't even mentioned in the first round, who very well could definitely go in the first round too. Like
absolutely,
he could find his way. He's definitely finding himself in the mix to be a first rounder. Like I think did he win Pitcher of the Year this year? Or he was up for it. I know he's up for it, and he's up for Golden Spikes. So he was up for Golden Spikes as well with Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter. They were the three guys who were the finalists. And
we didn't even talk about him. So
no,
he's one of the guys you how deep this class is. Yeah,
absolutely. And I could definitely, and that's one of those players that later on in that like where we had a young kid get drafted earlier, so that in the second round, team
someone could overpay. Big time
a team like the Texas Rangers, or like who else? Who else were we talking about? Texas Rangers, Pittsburgh Pirates, Detroit Tigers. The Tigers are like they could easily grab him, and they could have already gotten one of the young shortstops that were out there. So there's a lot of that's just how the MLB draft works, and it really is kind of crazy that's the way that it works. But that's all I got tonight. Great job tonight. That was very different. I've never done that before, and
me neither.
And it was fun. I liked it. I had a lot of fun with that.
It was.
So we'll do that again, and we'll be back next week to I guess talk about the second half. The second half's coming up, and we'll get into the second half, where we see teams in the second half, who we think is going to stay on top. Drop off, where we see the trade deadline is coming up as well. Where we see players trade it. So that'll be a really cool. Anything else?
No, that's all. I mean, next week's show should be cool. Just there's a lot going on, and I mean, like you said, the trade deadline and stuff, and the whole second half is like baseball's we're about to see the teams that think they're going to compete, and there's going to be a lot of moves in the next couple of weeks, which is cool. But we got 21 days or 22 days to the trade deadline, so it's going to be definitely an eventful 3 weeks.
Yes, sir.
And then we got the whole. I'm so excited for next week. So between
absolutely
the draft and everything else.
Yeah. So watch the All-Star game. Watch the Home Run Derby. Watch the MLB draft. See how we did with what our mock draft was. And that's all I got. So we will see you next week. Thank you for listening. We are out.